Hoping, considering all the incredible things that you go on to do with your life, you could bring us back to being the youngest JS No Regard that you can remember and walk us through what it sounded like to be you before you had any control of what it sounded like in your world.
Oof. You set that up heavy. Growing up, I'm not like a hip hop historian, right? I didn't grow up listening to the catalog of Wu-Tang, the catalog of Redman and Method Man. I never particularly cared for hip hop. I always liked musicals. So Disney movies, like that was always my thing. The Simpsons, like be my guest, you know, those types of things. Yeah,
You were
Simpsons
the
did a parody.
hold
They
on.
didn't start it, but they did a
But
parody.
you were the first person to bring up The Simpsons and their musical. But I bet a whole lot of us actually got some like musical game on with that. That best be my guest.
Yeah. If you remember the Simpsons episode, you know what we're talking
like
about.
fucking
You know what
Smithers,
I mean?
like fucking
Yes,
vest, whatever.
Exactly. So I was all more fascinated in things like that, right? Whereas my oldest brother, he was super into hip hop, you know, OPP, you know me, Notorious B.I.G., Tupac. So there was always music around me, but I never gravitated towards it. I think it was because I was younger and not living that lifestyle. I just never connected with it. I don't know. Fast forward.
Nah, we're not done here. So okay, you were into musicals and shit. Will you be dancing? Was you a little dancer back then?
No, I'm actually a very bad dancer.
Were you singing them? Were you like?
Oh yeah, all day.
Breaking them
My
out?
voice is horrible, but I'm singing it like I made it.
That's
I'm singing
amazing.
it like I made it.
And are you into sports back when you were super young?
Was I in sports?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People want to know what you're like at 5. You don't know that, but people really do.
Yeah. At 5 years old, 6 years old, I was a Minnesota Vikings fan. I think I was a Minnesota Vikings fan when I was 6 years old. And my two older brothers watched football. One was a Broncos fan. One was a Redskins fan. So I grew up definitely on sports. And like I was saying, music has always been something that's been there, but I just never gravitated towards it completely. I think it was because hip-hop music was what was played in my house a lot by my brothers. But I feel like because I wasn't living that lifestyle, like I'm hearing the cadences and I'm hearing the words and I was subliminally learning it, but it never touched my soul. You know, when music touches your soul, musicals touched my soul. You know, the soundtrack to Disney movies touched my soul.
Yeah, big respect that. No, and it makes sense.
The Lion King, Circle of Life was like the greatest musical song to dictate what the movie's about, in my opinion, that I've ever heard in my life.
That's actually a really well point, and I think the Lion King soundtrack is one of those things that, if I really am being honest, is a bigger part of my childhood than I can remember. Aladdin soundtrack's also
Aladdin too. Aladdin, A Whole New World. I think that impacted me. I mean, we're jumping, but to later years,
okay.
When you eventually start meeting girls and you're talking to girls, I always had this concept of shoot your shot, because women could tell you no, but if she does say yes and take a chance and get on that magic carpet, she could find herself finding a whole new world. So Aladdin was a big inspiration to me growing up for that reason. She got on that carpet and he showed her a whole new world. Musicals was greater than hip hop when I was like 1 to like 10.
No, but that's fair. Like, I don't even ask the question because I expect everyone to answer hip hop. Like, it wasn't like hip hop was a huge part of my life when I was 7, my guy. Like, I come from a household with no swearing in the
Has
music.
anyone ever told you that they started up on musicals?
Yeah, a couple.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that common. You're the first on The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big love to The Simpsons because, frankly, a lot of us probably should be bringing up like shit like that. Or I'm certain for the next generation, it's Family Guy. There's no way that you didn't grow up on Family Guy and not get influenced by musical satire. You know, like that's half that show. So it's like super interesting that you went there with it.
See my vest, Smithers. I really like the vest. It's The Simpsons, you know.
No, but like the whole.
That's
show's
when I
full of
first
it.
started memorizing things because I wanted to sing along with the television, you know.
But even then, they used to get like a lot of musical guests and shit, like legitimately. And then they had like, I can remember that, Lisa, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, Lisa. Like, that shit's banging. I don't care what anyone says.
Band-Aids, rescue rain, band. Like, you know, those. That was the first time I wanted to mimic music.
Yo, shout out
it wasn't
DJ
hip-hop.
Damage. I know you might not want to watch the comments, but when they lit, they lit. When I was a kid, one of the first songs I tried to remake on the computer was the Simpsons theme song. So big
facts. I like that.
Yo,
salute.
Shout out fucking
Salute.
DJ Damage with the
Salute.
subscribe. Oh my word. That's the dollars
Hey.
one. Fucking beautiful shit. And I even forgot to put that we're on like a subscriber goal move. Or like we're trying to actually do that. I forgot to put the thing in the video.
That's love.
Wow.
Salute. That's love.
Big love. What a start. Anyhow.
Yeah, man.
No, for real. Like it touches the soul.
That's
and
how
shit.
it started. Music does touch the soul. Let me tell you a very quick thing. I wanted to say it before when you were mentioning music. I work at a geriatric home. Today I was in the elevator. I just got into work, you know, early morning. You're still a little bit groggy, but you know, you're there. And a resident walked into the elevator with me. She's got to be like 75 years old. And she was playing Michael Jackson. And I listened to it and I'm like, huh. She's really like, I wanted to say something to her, but I'm like, do I not say anything? But it's like, she's playing Billie Jean. It's one of my favorite Michael Jackson. I shouldn't even say Michael Jackson songs. One of my favorite songs. So when the elevator door closed, I was like, you're playing a really good song. Thank you. You made my morning. And she said, isn't it just so nice? When I hear this song, it reminds me of my wedding. And she went into this whole conversation about how music marks chapters in her life. And that song is what she plays every morning because it reminds her of her husband that passed away. And I was like, isn't that something? As soon as the elevator door closed, I was like, all right, I'm ready for work. Billie Jean, I was ready for work. Small things, but music is the soundtrack to your life. Think back when you hear like a 50 Cent song, every hood we go through, all the gangsters around, know my whole I know that's early 2000s. I know where I was. I know because music marks those chapters in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's big facts.